If you look up the word mess in the dictionary, you'll find a picture of this magneto. It does have the grommets and the wires where they're supposed to be through the mag plate. But why they... Well, I'm back. Here you're going to witness the Gale if it starts or doesn't start. If you check my previous videos, I redid the whole magneto on it, plug wires, everything. I haven't touched the carburetor, I just did the magneto. I put another propeller on it and I cleaned the motor. I did put adapted a fan knob here for the low speed. Kind of resembles the other knobs. I have them somewhere, I could not find them, so I ended up just making one fit that looks similar. But I just want you to witness its first run. So here we go. I got my choke. Let's see. One pull, two pulls, three pulls, nothing. All right. Okay. I'm going to put a little ether down the carburetor and see if that helps. If that doesn't do it, then I got to pull the carburetor off because it's not getting any fuel. I'm not going to sit here and pull it 10 or 15 times. I'm just, 5 or 6 pulls, it doesn't start. And if it doesn't start with the ether, stay running with the ether, then I know it's not getting any fuel into the engine. So here, these particular motors with the air boxes on them, I kind of like the air boxes. I always like the look, but they're, for this kind of thing, it's a lot easier with the newer motors just to spray the ether right down the carburetor throat. So here I'm just going to go down the 2 intakes and see if it starts. I'm going to push the choke in, and it should do something. Here we go. Whoop. You heard it, folks. That's the first time. Here we go. Okay, so it's kicked over with the ether, so now I'm going to pull the carburetor off, clean it, and this thing should start right up. Okay, to the next clip. So here I popped the high-speed knob out, and after pumping it up for quite a while, no gas coming out the bottom of the carburetor, so the float is stuck. Just a tip, take it off before you take the carburetor off. You can unscrew the high speed or the drain, but you really can't get to the drain underneath here. Take the high speed out and just see if the fuel comes out of there. And if it don't, take the carburetor off. Oh, it just started to come out. It just started to come out as I'm speaking. So I think what happened, it was stuck and it just freed up. Now what I'll do now is I'll squeeze the bulb again and see if it comes out there. Yep, she comes out. So it just freed itself. So what I'll do is I'll put the high speed back in there before I start a fire and blow up the place. I'll put it at 3/4 of a turn. I got the top one at about 1.5. And choke it and see if it starts on its own without ether now after I pump it up again. I have to tighten the packing gland up too, so we'll put it right at about a little less than 1 turn. Pump it up again. I do have a gas leak on the fuel pump on the one side there a little bit. The fuel line's got to be changed too, so. All right, I got it nice and pumped up. Got it all the way, it's in neutral, it's all the way cranked up. And let's see, choke it. 1, 2. There we go. One of the issues I always have with these motors basically is can't get enough throttle. So a lot of times I'll take the gear shift lever off so I can advance the magneto past the normal stop, which is just not enough to get it going initially. Mind you, this motor hasn't probably been run since the 70s. So I'm going to take this off give it some more throttle, and she should start. And then I could dial it in from there. So here I took the gear shift lever off to get more throttle, just so I get this all dialed in and adjusted and let it run for a while. I did take the fuel pump off to get this off, put it back on. You can also leave the prop off, but at this particular stage, it's easier to take the linkage off. So now I can give it a little more gas. I'm not going to full throttle, but at least I can go up quite a bit more than it was. We'll see if it starts now. I got the choke out. I just pumped the gas up again with the fuel line. I got a brand new bulb on my fuel line because the old one broke. And we'll see what happens. Is that amazing or what? Hasn't run since the 70s. That trick saves a lot of unnecessary pulling just by doing what I just told you before. Take that linkage off, make sure it's a neutral, or you can take the prop off. And it even seems like it's dialed in somewhat, but let's see. I'm going to run a little bit more. I just want to stop it for a minute and talk to you and just express my joy. I'm probably going to give this motor back to the owner if he wants it. Still got to clean it up a little bit more. I'm trying to get decals for the cover. I'm working on that, but let's run it again. It's just that initial start until everything runs a while, and then it'll start, you know, the way it's supposed to once it's dialed in. Now I want to see if the fuel pump works. It might not be working. Getting good water flow. Sounds like new. Now the RPM's going up because I think the fuel pump's not keeping up. Well, let's see. What I'm thinking is even sometimes the fuel pumps will come around too. Once they get, that diaphragm gets nice and moist again. But the oil residue always stays on the diaphragms in the fuel pumps. I don't care if it's sitting in there, because it's sealed, basically a hermetically sealed unit when it's in storage for years. So sometimes you get lucky. If not, you just put a new updated pump on it. But let's run it a little bit more and see what happens. Get the leaves out of the my makeshift tank. I still haven't got my test tank yet. I've been looking, but it's coming. Phew. Sounds like it's running on one cylinder. Whenever they run really smooth and they're not as peppy, when you throttle it up, it's usually it has a weird sound to it. But let's see. Again, I don't know anything about these plugs. I got them Power Mechanic spark plugs in there, so I will go get another set before I go into the flywheel again. Let's see. Well, I'm running on number 2. Let's try number 1. That's the sound I was getting before with both, but it seems to be running on both. The thing to do is really just let it run a while, and don't jump to conclusions. Kind of understand how long the motor's been sitting, give it a chance to breathe again and run and come back to life. Now, I still think the fuel pump is bad, but I keep pumping it up. Let's see, we'll try it again. Yeah, I got to pump it almost from... She'll have to get a new pump on it. All right, so she needs a fuel pump. Understandable. And I'm going to change the plugs anyway. But this old Gale comes back to life, and pretty cool. It's enjoyable, because there are frustrating times. Anybody who works on these things knows the ups and downs. You know, and just the neglect that what they go through, you know. But I'm going to change the fuel pump on this, and I'm going to give you an update on the 1957-18, because I haven't totally neglected that. Let me show you. Low unit to the 57-18. I degreased it, and I sanded it down the best I could to get 95% of the paint off. Now I'm going to sandblast it, prime it, put the water pump back on it, and get back on this motor, and continue on. It's been a few days. We've had a lot of rain here. The weather finally kind of broke. The sun's out again the last 2 days, so it's going to be almost 90 today, so it's warmed up quite a bit. So let me sandblast this. I'm going to prime it, and we'll move on. Get ready to paint it down the road. I almost forgot about it. But there was a I should have actually shown it before I put the JB Weld in there, but a very small chip, about the size of maybe like your half a thumbnail. But anyway, just another little thing to get this thing closer to finished. Well, here's the update on the 57-18 I rebuilt from the parts motor that I took off my rack in my backyard a few months back. 1957-18 Horse Johnson. I'm up to the point now where I got the gear case. You've seen in the previous clips. I sandblasted it after I took most of the paint off with a sander, and I primed it. So I'm at the point now where I just get the water pump installed on it. It's all stripped, self-etching primer. This is the one I did the repair right here. It was a big chunk. Looked like a little baby great white shark. Took a chunk out of it. A radius chunk was all missing. So I'm going to put this all back together get it back up on the motor, maybe try to start it tomorrow, even later today, and we'll take it from there. But this is where I'm at. 1957 18-horse Johnson. Thanks for coming back, folks. Thank you. Well, I'm out in the junkyard, and I'm looking at this, which I actually had in the videos months back. I'm gonna take it in the shop and take it apart.